Hello. Today was a cheat day, but not just any cheat day. This was the cheat day that was also my sister's birthday. So, we decided to celebrate. I could tell you how much I weighed though, because I checked. I was 151.6 today. So, that's going to go up tomorrow for sure. Because, boy oh boy, did we go all out with this day. Of course, it was my sister's special day. Um, yeah, well, let's get into it. I'm going to go by a play-by-play instead of updating on the different segments like food and weight and exercise and all that, because since it's a cheat day, I think I'm going to treat it just like a regular day. All right. So I was woken up by my mom, and she said that I needed to get up because we were going to go to a restaurant for my sister's birthday. So I got up out of bed, and I was feeling very grimy, so I decided to take a shower, which lasted for about 15 minutes. And when I was done, I got all dressed up and ready to go. My sister got up. My youngest sister, who's older than me. I'm the youngest in the family, by the way. And I greeted her. I decided to try a pretzel snack that was on the kitchen table that my mom and my sister got the other day because I guess we were anticipating a lot of carb-rich foods on cheat day, and so they got this big old bag of pumpkin spice pretzels. I only had one. It was all right, but if I'm being honest with you, it didn't really wow me, and I much rather prefer spending those hunger points on eating like an actual meal over eating a snack. So I only had one, just to sample it. Well, after that, brewed a cup of coffee, and me and my sister were chatting. Then we decided to watch a new trailer that came out. I already watched the trailer the other day, the Toy Story 5 teaser, but I wanted to see what my sister and my mom's reaction to the teaser would be. Like I said, I stand by this opinion, and that's that I believe this franchise really should have ended after 3. I didn't bother seeing 4 because that felt like a cash grab. And my interest is piqued with 5 solely because the director attached to it has made one of my favorite films of all time, Finding Nemo, as well as making a really great film in the form of Wall-E. So perhaps he's going to approach this material in an interesting way that no other director of the franchise has yet. And so I showed my sister and my mom the teaser, and immediately right off the bat, my sister knew the lyrics to the music that was playing in the teaser, which I thought was pretty interesting. I guess she's a really huge fan of whatever song was playing in the teaser because she knew the words beat for beat. But as soon as they showed the tablet pulled out and showed the toys frightened and the whole theme, the age of toys is over, my mom seemed quite impressed with what subject matter the creative team at Pixar is tackling with this new entry. And she herself stated something along the lines of, "Wow, that's really awesome. I'm really glad that they're addressing something like this because, the thing with toys was it was there to expand children's imaginations. But with this new movie, it may show the downsides of how a lot of modern children are being raised, where they don't even have toys anymore. A lot of children are just handed out iPads, and they're expected to, play stuff like Roblox and that. And I guess the movie's going to attempt to address that new world. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like something like a tablet probably, like, it depends on how it's used, and what necessary precautions, safety measures are taken. Like, for example, I mean, you could say stuff like, ooh, the future of game programmers will start with stuff like Roblox with children who play on their tablets. But then on the other hand, there's lots of horrific stranger danger that I've heard an endless drama about on places like YouTube about that game, like a lot of drama videos. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, that's kind of a concern. Honestly, remember the age when, like, back before all that stuff existed with stuff like Fortnite and Roblox? I don't even play those games, but back in that day, they would always say, please ask your parents for online permission for, like, going on the Cartoon Network website or any website, And it was always a safe environment. They didn't have, like, you connect online with other players. It was, like, kind of a strictly, like, single player experience a lot of the time. But now it's like everything's expected to be online all the time. And while this can be neat in responsible hands, i.e., people who know of the dangers and what to look out for when essentially being thrown into a digital environment with strangers, I don't think most children handed a tablet would be aware of that. And so I feel like it's kind of irresponsible to do stuff like that, because you're kind of exposing, children to the dangers of stranger danger, and that's kind of frightening. So I don't know if Toy Story 5 is going to address such a heavy issue like that. It would make for a really interesting film if they did, but I think that they're going to attempt to make this as massively appealing as possible. So instead of doing something like addressing a dark situation like that, I think in order to maintain the movie's G rating or PG rating or whatever, it's going to be either G or PG. They're probably going to instead make the movie about how, like, the tablet is taking time away from children's imaginations, and instead it's like focusing they're focused more on passive entertainment rather than constructive entertainment. Even though in the real world, sure, I think there's probably more people who are passively using this product as an entertainment device, passive entertainment, rather than a constructive entertainment device for their kids. So that's probably, like, that's going to be interesting. Apparently, there's going to be a subplot in this movie about how there's a new version of Buzz Lightyear toys coming out where they have smart tech, like, engaged in them. So they're like super advanced robot versions of the original Buzz Lightyear. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play in, but I guess they need a little more meat on the bone for the story, and they probably were like, okay, well, how can we make this more interesting? Oh, okay, well, there'll be a new version of the Buzz Lightyear toy that's going to be more advanced, that's going to use smartphone technology or whatever. Like, so, I mean, they're exploring new territory, which I appreciate. I like it when they do something different with a sequel that people weren't really expecting, that's addressing a social issue. I think that's going to make people really question how they use their devices and all that stuff. And I think that's a really important thing to tackle in this day and age, because everybody, including me, are obsessed with being on our smart devices all the time, and we forget to really take our nose out of the screen and look around and smell the roses, So this is going to be a really interesting subject matter to tackle, and my mom expressed a lot of those ideas I was talking about. I kind of got caught on a tangent again, didn't I? Well, anyways, let's move on. This is supposed to be about my sister's B-Day after all. So after we're done having that discussion, um, my sister, middle sister, whose birthday was today, arrived, and we greeted her with warm welcoming. After, of course, she arrived when me and my youngest sister was we were having fun and doing a little dance to the to a song from Veggie Tales that the Lakes sung. I think it was like, "Oh no, what we gonna do? The king likes Daniel more than me and you. Oh no, what we gonna do? We gotta get him out of here. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Oh no, what we gonna do? The king likes Daniel more than me and you. Oh no, what we gonna do? We gotta get him out of here. Ba-dum-bum-bum." So yeah, that's the song that me and my sister would dance to, and the reason why was because my sister was wearing a silly looking hat, um, and it made her look like one of the lakes, and she joked about that. She said, "I look like one of the lakes from Veggie Tales," and then we started singing that song, and we played it on the TV and danced to it like the lakes did, and that was pretty hilarious. And that's when my sister, my B-Day sister, walked in, and we greeted her. We showed her what we were doing. She thought that was hilarious. Then she wanted to show us a video of a guy playing poker face on a clarinet. It was like from 13 or 15 years ago. And that was really funny. Really, really enjoyed that. And then my other sister wanted to show us someone who was a fan of VeggieTales doing a live action remake of the Mr. Lunt song, the cheeseburger. I think it went something like, they said I just wanted a burger. I showed up at the drive-thru. I asked them something. Man, I wish I knew the lyrics because it's got a good beat, good theme to it, but I don't remember the lyrics. All I remember is, "He said I am extremely hungry, but I guess I can wait until then." Yeah, that right there. So that's all I got. Anyways, that was funny. It was like an old video from like the early days of the internet with like crummy video quality and crummy green screen effects, with like a girl who was like singing the song and like, you know, being really passionate about it, but she was lip syncing the song. She wasn't actually like singing it with her own voice, but it was a really funny video. Then we got dressed. Well, I was already dressed, and we left to go to a restaurant. It was a breakfast restaurant. You know, the funny thing was, on our way there, we were originally going to stop by this like egg-based restaurant, but we looked at the menu before entering, and we found the prices to be ridiculously inflated. And it seems like one of those trendy traps, you know, a place that like gets by just like, "Ooh, look at how trendy our artwork and our decor is," but the prices of our food is ridiculously expensive. So once we found that out, we decided to go to the original restaurant we intended. We came across quite a weird and bizarre sight that honestly still frightens me when I think about it. It was like a homeless dude who was like pushing a cart, but like his pants were starting to sag, and then his butt became visible. Luckily, I only saw it for a split second before I averted my eyes, but yeah, that was like seared into the back of my mind a bit. You know how you see something for a split second that's like, ugh, but like you try to hide your eyes, but like even just seeing it for that brief moment, it's stuck in there forever. That's what happened. It was quite an experience, let me tell you. Traumatizing. Well, anyways, we eventually arrived at the restaurant. We got our seats, booth seats. I needed to use the restroom when I was done. We made our order. It was funny because like me my youngest sister and my mom decided to have the same things. We had egg, hash browns, and pancakes. And my birthday sister, middle sister, decided to have um, French toast and sausage patties and over easy eggs. So yeah, she was the she chose different than us, and we decided to go a little crazy on our food choices by basically keeping the same thing. Although I did place a separate order of bacon, and we all got coffees, and my mom decided to get biscuits and gravy for all of us to split. Eventually, when the food did come out, I think our eyes were a lot bigger than our stomach because holy cow, was it a lot of food, and it took us forever to eat it all. And honestly, like when I was done, I was stuffed. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so full. Ugh. And then we got like a fun conversations that went in different directions. It was pretty cool. Like, yeah. And afterwards, we decided to leave. We stopped by a park. We went for a nice walk, and we just found these cool birds that looked like Egyptian birds. Like they were like Egyptian ducks, I think. We know because my sister like image reverse searched them, and yeah, I filmed like an entire long video with these ducks, like because they were so mesmerizing me. I just had to take a video of them. And we saw other ducks that like had like long thin beaks, and those are really cool too. And then I saw a crane, and I had to film that as well. So I got like a whole lot of bird footage on my computer or phone, I mean, because there was just so much good stuff to look at. And then after we were done with our walk and our talk, we arrived home. We gave our sister a nice gift, and then we had a little break in between where I decided to do some storyboarding on my phone. I did a little practice storyboard where I was trying to draw my day from beginning to end, but I just couldn't get it the way I wanted it because it was taking me forever to draw, which is kind of annoying, but that's how it is, I suppose. Well, anyways, eventually we all recouped back together. We had cake, carrot cake. We had lemon bread. We had praline pecan ice cream, and we also had coffee. And we watched a really cool Papa Meat video, which was him talking about Hobby Lobby and the different controversy surrounding it. And sometimes he did like bits that were hilarious that we all thought were really funny. Like I like the one where like he was talking about like the 70-year-old like lady who works at Hobby Lobby who like is carrying like the Antichrist that just popped in, like there was like no conception, so that was pretty funny. So yeah, pretty cool. And then I suddenly got a call on my phone saying that my car shop that I deal with ordered the part on eBay. They're wondering when's the soonest I could arrive to get the car situated. I'm a little conflicted though. Like my car's been starting up fine recently, and the problem they said, which was like the whole turn the key and the car gear shifting system, like seems to be working fine for me. Do I really need it? I mean, they're trying to replace like the gear shift system with another gear shift system, but I don't know. I mean, they just ordered the part. They went through all the effort of getting it. I guess the best I could do is like maybe I'll bring it in. I'll see how much it'll cost, and if it's too much, I'd have to delay it. Because I'm kind of strapped for cash right now, so maybe it wouldn't be such a good idea. I mean, if the car's functioning fine, do I really need it? I don't know. I don't want to feel pressure in doing something but there's a part of it where like, ooh, they ordered it, it came in. Do I respect the fact that they ordered came in and like they want to see if that'll make the car like immediately start, or do I like say okay, I'm having little issue with the car currently, it's fine, no big deal, and say no thank you and just continue, and they have to send the part back, which would mean they'd have to pay for shipping. So, or would I have to pay for shipping? I don't know. I don't know. I feel this is a conflicting situation to be in for me. Yeah. Okay, I'll just bring my car. I'll get it checked. I'll hear what they have to say. If it's a good price, that's not too much, I'll give it the go ahead. If I feel like it's warranted, if I don't feel it's warranted and also the price is ridiculous, then no. But if I don't feel it's warranted but the price is fine, oh man, that would be like a well, if I don't feel it's warranted, then it doesn't matter if the price is fine. I wouldn't want it anyway. So like I'd say no then I as well. Yeah. It's a weird situation. Well, anyways, moving on. Then we decided to go to the theater to watch the new Guillermo del Toro film Frankenstein. I knew this movie was coming out. Guillermo del Toro is one of my most favorite film directors currently working right now. And I just knew, like, okay, anything he makes is going to be good. My sister's been talking about this movie. She's really wanted to see it. And, I like a lot of his films, so I'm sure this is going to be an awesome movie to see. So, yeah, we were all totally down to watch it. So we went to the theater, we arrived, we got our tickets, which, because it was Tuesday, the tickets were half off, which meant they were a really good price. They were only $7 instead of like the normal like $14.50. So pretty awesome. And we took a few pictures with some of the cardboard cutouts that were in the theater, and then we went and we watched this film. And I have to say, Frankenstein was really awesome. It was one of the best films I've seen all year. It had exceptional visual identity that was very artistic. It was very eye-catching. It was very gothic. It was very dark. And I really was captivated by its visual design, which was gruesome, but without being overly gross. It was like a fascinating gruesome where like you could feel like, oh, the imagination and the passion behind it, if that makes sense. And the story just was very good too. It's like about like someone who wants to prove that they can beat death, but ultimately they create something that becomes a lot bigger than them, but that their creation ends up haunting them because they don't treat their creation with any kind of respect, because they don't see the creation as like a living, breathing being with thoughts and feelings and emotions. They see the living being as simply just an object to be studied and scientifically measured. And throughout the course of the movie, it goes in a lot of really interesting directions, like that are heartfelt, that are brutal, that are deeply moving, and um, that made me contemplate a lot of things about like what it means to create something, what it means when that thing takes a life of its own and becomes a living, breathing um, thing, and how like the choices behind making the thing ultimately, um, impact you in a way where you're like it affects you in ways you weren't expecting. It's a really really well done movie, and I wholeheartedly recommend it. If I mean I know it's on Netflix. We watched it in the theater. I'd recommend seeing it in the theater because it just something about seeing it on a bigger screen gave it a more immersive and intimate feeling, and the fact that you don't have like you're not in your house where you could easily be distracted by like what's going on outside your like room or like anything what's going on. When you go to the theater, it's like a focused experience because the entire room's dark. You have this big screen showing this story. You're paying to be there, and so the film demands you to pay attention to it. And it also helps that it's a really good movie too. And because you're more focused, you're more open to accepting and absorbing the story. And it also is just a really good story, and I really liked it. So, great film. Definitely check Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, out if you can. All right. Well, after we're done watching that movie, I wanted to get a cheeseburger and fries and a milkshake, because it was cheat day, and I mean I gotta be honest, that breakfast was filled me up throughout the entire day. Like, so I was really just eating it just for the fact that it was my cheat day and just for entertainment purposes. I asked, hey, do you want me to get you something for my sister? She's like, nah, but yeah, go ahead. So we went because everyone was still full from breakfast. So so we went to the nearest burger joint, got the burger and the fries, and malted milkshake, and we returned home. I ate the food. I enjoyed it, but it was quite cold when we finally arrived, so that was kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. I wish it was more fresh tasting, but it was still good. And yeah, then we had a nice discussion. The whole me, my sisters, my mom. Then my sister left. We saw her out, sang a little parting song that my sister recorded, which is pretty cool, pretty fun. It's a parting song we usually sing whenever a member of the family leaves. And when she left, me and my mom watched a new Y-Files about government psyops. And that was really good, really interesting. Then my mom needed to go to bed. And then I decided to listen to a Ross Coulthart video about the Age of Disclosure documentary while I was playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on my Nintendo Switch, still in the Goron Village segment, by the way, just exploring and doing some puzzles and challenges in that section. And then I was watching a video about the Analog Pocket, the Analog 3D, a N64 device or style device that plays Nintendo 64 cartridges at higher resolutions, with overclocking available to get better performance. It's a really interesting product. I don't really have a collection of N64 games at all. No cartridges. So, like, if I bought it, it would solely just be for the novelty of having a device I could plug into a modern TV to play native Nintendo 64 cartridges like on, but other than that, there really would be no reason to get it. I mean, I see the appeal of the device, but I have a way of experiencing it through the NSO online service. I mean, of course, it's always good to just own your games straight up, but I already have it. It's the quickest and most convenient way. I kind of have a way of feeling like I'm playing the real experience with like the NSO N64 controller. So I think I'm good, but it's still cool to see this new technology emerge. So after I was getting tired of that, I decided to take my vitamins, brush my teeth, and then record this video. So yeah, as I was doing all that, I was listening to like a Bob Lazar interview. It was talking about like a UFO that was captured on like photos. How he said it looked like the sports model device that I was working on. And then I was listening to videos from the YouTube channel Caper Site, where this guy reacts to different like videos that range from ghosts to UFOs to aliens, which is pretty fun and funny. And then I started recording this update video. So that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. This was a really good cheat day, but most importantly, it was a really good birthday for my sister. She said she really enjoyed it, and she hopes that we have another day together again. So, mission accomplished, and couldn't be prouder. And happier. So, that's going to do it for now. I'm going to upload this and go to bed. Have a good night, and take care.